Alright, welcome back to Let's Build a Combat Robot Part 2, where we're going to do the horizontal spinner, and this time we're going to go ahead and we're going to do some stuff. So, I've went ahead and I've gotten this right here, this hub motor, this 2207 hub motor, which comes from Repeat Robotics, and one of their weapon blades, the 6-inch weapon blade. Go ahead and got that CAD inserted, and we can have some fun with this. So we're going to go ahead and spin this down. And you could do multiple things with this. So I'm going to give you multiple options in case you want to change yours. We're going to go ahead and put it in, see how it meets the circle up nice. But I think it's a little beyond the edge. No, it's perfectly right on that circle. Wanted. What you'll notice here, that from here to here is 25 millimeters. And we can effect on the very top, very bottom. 24.4, yeah, it's 25 millimeters. We built a 20 millimeter. So what you can do with this, and we're going to go ahead and break the link, or unground parent, break the link. I will explain what that is one day, just not today. And you can try to center this. Okay. See, I've got the other weapon discs. Go ahead and hit OK. I'm going to remove these other weapon discs. Now, we're not deleting, we're removing. Okay, which you want to do after you break all the links. So this is where it would sit, which would put it like 2.5 millimeters. So there's 5 extra millimeters for plate, which means the top of this is aligned with the top of this plate, and the bottom of this is aligned with the bottom of this. So what we could do, we could make this taller, or we could maybe change it. That's always a possibility. We could change this. And what we could do is do something really fucking nutty. Which you could just build these plates, build the bottom in the same height, and build a top bracket that fits over to. You could do a bunch of things like that, where you would just take this sketch, you project it, you get your bolt holes and get everything all lined up, and or we could radically change the whole design, which I think is what we're going to do. We're going to take this weapon blade, we're going to move it, and move it down to the bottom. Alright. Because this whole thing is 5 millimeters taller. Right? So we're going to go ahead and collapse this. Take this whole motor. We're going to move it. Okay. We're going to go ahead and move it the extra 5 millimeters down. Now our weapon blade, I think, in the bottom of our robot. Right? Could be good, could be bad. But effectively that means that all of this space up here we need. And it could potentially shoot it in. That's right in the corner. So that would be about as far in as we might hit the. Maybe we could scoot it a little more. Still not hitting anything. So the more we can do this. I don't think. Oh yeah, it's gonna miss the wheel entirely. So we could build this nasty fucking spin. Nasty undercut. We could move this all the way in. Oh yeah, we could. Now, the farther you move it in, you'll see that the reason you would leave this out is all of this offensive area. Scoot it in, this is covering up a lot of your. But We could probably go all the way into like here. Look at that. Let's see, that cuts into the tire. No, we don't want that. Bonk, bonk. Still cutting into the tire. Bonk. Barely clipping it, so we'll move it out 5 more. Good, put it here. Yeah. We'd want a little bit of wiggle room. So, another 1, maybe 2 millimeters down. Now we get this vicious undercutter underneath our robot. I love how designs can be completely remade. So, I want everybody's opinion because we'll go ahead and do this, and we'll fix this weapon next episode. But do we want to make this a mean undercutter, or do we want to go ahead and put this back and turn this into a traditional horizontal spin? We could do that. Really, no reason why we can't. Still do an undercutter. We could put it back in the middle and still do a... So, you guys' design. Do we want this far out like we are doing, or should, in the next episode, we scoot it back and a real short, compact under... Alright. Now that that's in there, let's start dealing with the far more important problem. Alright, and we're going to save this front armor for when we do this. Now, also, for those who are asking, the top plate, you'll notice that we put these hexagons in, but round circles in the bottom. That's because this is going to be TPU. TPU doesn't really grab on this, right? But if you go into like Amazon, you can get these spacers right here. They're called standoffs. Do M3 by 20 standoff on Amazon. And these are nylon ones. I think you can get them in like aluminum or whatever else, but what they are is basically you can build it. You can bolt your plate to the top, bolt your plate to the bottom, and because it's that hexagon shape, it'll hold on to the TPU without you having to thread anything. So that's why I use those, for those who want to know why I'm sandwiching between plates. It makes TPU easy. Anyways, let's go ahead and now that we've inserted that, we'll play with that later. We gotta make some wheels. It's all fun and games. And I'm decided on these Repeat Robotics brushed MK2. Okay? So we're gonna go ahead and up like this. I like to spin them straight up and down. Right? And we'll get that roughly centered. That's not a very big wheel. We might end up bringing it all the way out. So, you know, it sits very nice on that very edge. We might end up making it bigger. It is what it is. Especially if we're going to do a vicious undercutter, we'll do it. Let's put the top plate on. Let's get this roughly centered. We're happy with it. It's a little high. Put a little low. Put a little extra tire towards the bottom. Or, and yeah, you know what? That works. Alright, so we've got one in here. And we're going to grab and insert another one. And this is where we're going to start the motor mounts. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take the center of this pin. Line it up to the center of that pin. Remove. Throw it over on the other side. Go from the top, because if you remember from the top, it's just barely poking out, just like that. So they should be roughly exactly the same. And that's where your motors are going to be. Now, let's do the difficult part of how we're going to attach these. we have a couple options. One, we could permanently fuse them into the front armor. Or two, we could do another standalone thing with a couple standoffs to just hold it in place. I'm probably going to take option 2. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and make the top plate invisible. We're going to rename body 3 to rear armor. Rear arm. It's just my abbreviation for armor. You want to make sure, you know, your sketches, you want to keep renaming them. Sketch, main sketch. And you want to try to minimize the number of new sketches. So we're going to go ahead and sketch, project, capture. Alright, so this is where we're at. Okay. Cancel. Get rid of this sketch here. We're going to make another one. Sketch, project. This. Yeah, okay. And right here we get this middle point. It's going to come out. 18, 19, 20 millimeters. That sounds pretty good. We don't need to make the whole thing at once. We can do just little portions of it. And I'm going to do just this little portion for now. Because what we can do is take this, bonk, go to create, here, on this axis here. And press X to turn that into a thing. Now we've got one big old chunk of stuff. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to take that one chunk, extrude, offset 0.1 so that it's not actually touching the bottom. We're 20 millimeters tall, so we're going to go for 20 millimeters, but we're going to make our motors disappear so we accidentally cut into a new body. Now when we put our motor back, you'll see we're pretty good size facing in here. A few millimeters back into it. Right? Now we're going to take this new body, make it invisible, grab this, sketch, project it. Now if we make our motor invisible again, we have this great circular pattern. We'll set the outside of that offset. 0.15, make it slightly bigger. Side one. Construction line, because we really don't need it. Now we can select the whole thing. These are going to be construction lines for now, because we don't really... So they're there as a reference. Here, we're going to offset of 0.5, which gives us plenty of room. And now we're just going to select that. Finish. We're going to bring our new item back in, our body. Right. Whole thing is 20. Say 1 or 5. We'll see how 5 millimeters. Okay. So we're going to take our motor, bring it back, right click, move it, put it way out here so that we can do something. We're going to grab this circle right here, line it up with this circle. See, well, we're like a millimeter off, right? We got like another millimeter of in we go. This is how I get things roughly lined. Take that -1. Turn our motor back on again. Oh. Circle. Line it up with our circle on the side. That looks pretty darn flush to me. Alright. Now that looks really good, make it invisible. Take our back. extrude it. Another minus 0.15 for a little bit of wiggle room. Alright, and then we're going to turn our thing back on. Now this sketch here, okay, yeah, this was motor mount. Motor mount of vertical. This is our motor mount horizontal. Motor mount horizontal. Okay. So very, very good. So make this that disappear. I'm going to go to the back. We're going to right click, project. We grab all of this, click on all this stuff. Should be a little teeny tiny lip. Yep. Okay. Here. X. So it's all construction line. Here. Our offset. Very far outside. We'll change select. See if it'll let us. Yep. Here's the outside. We're going to go 0.15 away from outside in all directions. Because we turned them all into construction line, click on the whole thing. Our body back. Let's extrude it right through the middle. Bonk. Now we'll have this nice little cradle in the back that will grab onto the motor. Do so quite well. Then we're going to come off the face of this. I'm going to come off another 3 millimeters. Okay. Right. And then we had our this one. So we had this, but we're going to leave that hole in the middle. Extrude it. Offset 0.1. Okay. Then when we extrude it, we're going to extrude it to 1. Means it's going to be 299. Or what you can do, leave this just little tiny little tip so that it has something to rub against, reducing the friction. You're not running against. Really, it's a dealer's choice. I'm going to go to one side, distance extend type, to project right to this, make it. Right now, our motor has this little home it fits in. I'm going to right click on our new physical material, that into thermoplastic resin. And right now it's just this great big old heavy block. But it does what we need it to do. Right? It's in there, it's all shock mounted, and should be able to absorb a couple hits. And I haven't decided on whether I would have bolted it there or move it out, but that's where it's going to sit for now. Now, how do you get your motor in and out? Well, I'm a big fan of, you do one of two. One, chop this top half off, attach zip ties. Right? 2, you take one of these standoffs, put it like here and here, one on either side, and then when you bolt the whole thing together, it just holds it in place. So we're going to go ahead and split this in half, make it visible. Back to our horizontal motor mount. Disappear. Or you know what? We're gonna just make a new one. Body, sketch, line. That centered? Oh, it is. perfectly. Look at us, we did good. Alright, so we're going to take this line, right in the middle, press X, turn it into a construction line, click on it. You're symmetrical off both sides, and off both sides I'm going to take off 0.1. Now we get this perfect little line splitting it in half. Grab it. Alright, we're going to take this bad mammer jammer. Like this up. Put it right in two. Our motor mount. Now that we've got that, we want to attach it. How can we come to this back? Even though that's like where the big chunk cancel. We're gonna Control Z. Get 6 says okay, good. Let's sketch right into the top of it. Here's about roughly 9mm. 9 out, cross back. Line. 9 out, cross back. Turn these into construction lines. We're only using them really for 8. Gone. Now, these distances may change. Another thing you can do, constant value. At another time, you can make a value that's a word and be like standoffs. Then you go into every one of these standoffs and you type the word standoff, and it'll change it to whatever that value. Change it later, it'll change it. Okay, so that's where those two are going to be. .5 is like a perfect size hole for an hole. 3.5. I'm going to use this for multiple. And then that's we won't even fill it. We're going to take a circle. Perfectly co-aligned. Sure that this is a separate piece. It connects to the side. Sometimes if you're off by a little. That's not a big chunk of that. 8. I'm gonna wait until we cut this. We'll slowly trim the fat off. Now, good. Great little motor mount. Now, again, we're going to trim the fat off of this. Because right now it's pretty bulky. Probably don't need nearly that much. But it's there. All right, we're going to go ahead and sketch. We're going to... And we're going to turn the top plate back. Top. Cut that hole in. Bottom. There's our bolt hole. That. We're going to create this. Two. Mirror plane. Now we've got both sides made. Now we'll have to repunch in some holes on this side. Circle. 5. Again, what you can do for these, I just happen to have the sizes memorized for the holes. 3.5. And you can just put a constant type in a word. Not sure. Top plate. Alright, and at this point, theoretically, you've got 2 motor mounts. And that's not doing too shabby. So, at this point in time, that's a functioning piece. May shoot this farther out, farther in. We're going to decide next episode because you guys need to figure out whether we are going to put this as your standard horizontal spinner. Because I can also assemblies. We can take this weapon. Okay, we can turn this back into your stereotypical horizontal, roughly in the middle. It'll be slightly lower than that. It'll be slightly below the middle. That's fine. We can build it undercutter out here. Or we can grab this drop it a few millimeters, bring this in. It was pretty far. We got we're far in, can I? So about as far in as I can get. Not catching. Or we could turn this into like a real short, stubby under. Which one do we want to see? Next episode, we will turn it into which kind of horizontal that we want. Alright. Again, if you wanted standoffs, they're right here. If we go to repeat robotics, repeat robotics. Alright. You can see right here is the weapon blade we're using. Here's the hub motor we're using. It's like right on the front. So we'll click on this. It's the 2207 ant weight, right? This is what we're currently, and roll down. Here's find a 3D model here, a grab cab, battle ready hub motor. Alright, and then if we go to weapon blades, This is the 6-inch. Now you want to be careful with these other ones, okay? Because this 8, this 5, paired 4, okay? Because look, these are the ones for the ant weight hub motor. 6, the other 4, and the 5 and the 8-inch, they fit the larger beetle weight motor. Down here, the 207 ant weight. Also get that beetle weight. 8-inch only works on the beetle weight. 6-inch only works on that beetle. Wait, we can get that 6-inch on the ant weight now? Oh, that's no. It's only $13. That's terrifying. Sure. Okay. Gonna learn something. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put here this video off with a bang by checking collections. The one in here? There's only the one. Where is the one with all of them? I have somewhere in here, I have the whole weapon collection. Here we go. Alright, we're gonna learn something now. Another 6-inch. Is it a new 6-inch blade? But here it says it's a 5-inch. Assuming that's going to be roughly the same. On there, they're saying it's 6. I don't know if they changed it. I'm going to save. Take this item from here. Save a copy. Weapons collect 5. Okay. And maybe we make this thing a big, huge, scary under. And we're insert this current design. And at the same. Fits rather well, actually. There. Oh, and it's thick and chunky. Alright, we're gonna go in here. Well, you know what? We'll teach you how to do that next episode. Where we attach the two together. That's, big and chunky. Off by a little bit. That's terrifying. If it really is 5 inches, then we can use that to all sorts of other. Not too bad. Oh, we've gone way over our time limit. Press OK. And sometimes it's good to check the store. Look at that. That's now we're moving up in the world. Now I did make it smaller. We are going to build it with the 6-inch blade, which I do already currently have in front of me. But I definitely want to order one of these funsies because, yeah. All right. Till next time. Hasta mañana. See you later. Enjoy. Bye.